could I have your name and occupation?
My name is William Hill. I have three occupations. I'm an RA with Res Life. I'm a sales associate at Wet Seal, and I'm a server at Ruby Tuesday.
My name is Leslie Goodman. I'm an assistant professor of English at Albright College.
My name is Holly Bell, and I am a representative for the Santa Corporation.
Samantha Colombo, not to be confused with Santa. Occupation, jigsaw puzzle maker, and that's about it.
When was the first time you met or saw Santa?
I was a child, and I have not met Santa, but I read about him in books.
I've never actually met Santa.
When I was like around the 4 or 5 age, I would go to the mall and like I would see the man in the red suit, white beard, and that's my grandparents, and my parents told me, oh, that's Santa Claus, he's the guy that brings you a present on Christmas.
I didn't actually meet Santa until I started working here for the company. I was a secretary at the time when the big man in red walked in. He was very kind. He helped me get this promotion.
What is your favorite memory of Santa?
My favorite memory is from the stories about, the story that goes, not a creature was stirring all through the house.
Yes.
And so I had a book with illustrations of him with his jolly laugh, and I was just always pictured him sort of in my house at night eating cookies.
My favorite memory of Santa is when he went to my cousin's house once. Of course, at Christmas I wasn't there. And he brought puppies to them, and they were playing with the puppies, and it was really cute. And I saw pictures, but I didn't get to meet the man.
When I was in kindergarten, all of the kindergarten classes, we went to the gym and we watched a showing of the Polar Express, or like a reading of it. And a guy dressed as Santa came up and gave each of one of us like the bell that the little boy receives. Like that was like probably my favorite Santa memory.
Though I didn't meet him until I started working here, my favorite memory of him has to come from when I was a child. After all, what kid doesn't love Santa? I had woken up earlier than usual one Christmas morning, and whenever I went outside there were hoof prints in the snow. It was the best moment of my life.
Santa used to go by Saint Nicholas. Do you prefer this new image to his old one?
I do. I think it's streamlined, and it's obviously benefiting the company.
I prefer his new image.
Any reason for that?
It just feels more comfortable for me. I feel like Santa should change with the times.
No. Because I think he's truly a saint, and he should be seen as so. And I think stripping him of the saint in front of Nicholas really just doesn't do the man justice.
I guess I would say yeah, because my family for Christmas, when it came time for decorating, we would decorate inside as well as the outside of our house. We'd have like this little standing figure, and like I thought it was Santa, so I finally asked who that was, and I was told it was Saint Nicholas, which was basically the same person as Santa, but to me it just didn't register right as the person in the red suit, and like it just didn't seem as jolly and happy. It seemed more adult-friendly as opposed to, I guess, kid-friendly.
What do you know about the North Pole?
Cold.
That it's cold.
I imagine it's very cold.
There's elves there.
That's where Santa's workshop is, and I think that's where he lives with his wife, Mrs. Claus.
For starters, we don't have a giant pole in the snow. That wouldn't make very much sense now, would it? No, it's actually more like a complex of offices and factories where we make toys for the children and sort out the paperwork to ensure that every child gets the appropriate gift.
How do you feel about Santa's labor practices?
Suspicious and skeptical. I don't know a lot about them, but the whole deal seems pretty shady. His workshop is very far away. It seems perplexing to me that he only employs one type of person, and in fact the lack of information about the kind of wages that they get. It seems like if he's going to produce presents for every child in the world, they're going to be working some serious overtime. I'm not convinced they have a union or a good benefits package. So I feel like the whole thing is probably a pretty poor deal.
I guess now that I'm more grown up, I see it as it's kind of messed up in a way. that there's people doing the manual labor for things that children on the wish ask for on their wish list. Because if you really think about it, there's so many children that ask for all these things. So the idea of there being people producing and manufacturing all these items and gifts, it just seems like a lot of work, and it would seem more demanding than anything. I mean, in TV, you see it as being happy and jolly, and they love doing it, but I don't think in reality that's how it would be.
I think they're very fair. Some people might say it's unreasonable to make us work during the holidays, but in our field, that's the only time you can't take off. Other than that, we get good vacation time, good pay, and great benefits.
Hope he's nice to them.
Going back to what you said about the North Pole, some people accuse Santa of favoring wealthy families. Any comment on that?
I wouldn't say he favors wealthy families per se. It's only good business sense to provide more gifts to the families that can afford them, but people do need to remember that Santa gives a gift to every child of every family, regardless of their income. And he does this for the poorer families at no charge.
Santa doesn't make very many public appearances. Do you think Santa is a workaholic or what?
Yeah, I think he takes the job as Saint Nicholas very seriously.
I think that the image of Santa as, again, the image that I had of him as a jolly, kindly old man is not realistic. I think that he doesn't make many public appearances so as to be able to maintain that image as a beloved figure and profit off of it, whereas if he were to show up all the time, we might begin to realize maybe he's not magical, maybe he's not that jolly, maybe he's not always warm and kindly. In fact, considering his labor practices, I suspect that he's not. So I think he stays behind the scenes so as to maintain the profitability of that image.
I wouldn't say workaholic, since Christmas time is really his, what the image when you always attach Santa to. So I would say, I guess you can call it a Christmas celebrity. He only makes his appearances during that time, and that's really all there is to it.
No, he's very good at balancing business with leisure. He enjoys going around the world and sampling different cultures in his spare time.
And for my last question, do you think that Santa is still relevant today?
No. And the reason for that is because of not only the time that we are in, but also the way media is. You see more commercials of parents or people going out buying a gift for someone as opposed to seeing Santa bringing it to people. And even commercials with children opening gifts, there's always the voice on the commercial saying oh, get that gift, you can get this gift for your kid here. They don't really talk about it being Santa bringing the gift. So I feel like in today and in society, Santa's just not as relevant as he was. And I guess it's kind of sad for some children who do still believe that idea, and it makes it confusing for them because they see one thing somewhere, but they're told something somewhere else.
Yep. I think Christmas is based around Santa more than anything else. Saint Nicholas, I mean.
I think so, yes. I think his image is everywhere. If we still, there's still a lot of red around Christmas time. I feel like that's part of Santa's iconography. I think even when Santa has not delivered the presents, I still think there are some people writing from Santa on gifts to their loved ones, Santa benefits from. So I don't know that Santa should be relevant today, but I think that he still is.
Of course he is, and I'm not just saying that as an employee of the company. Santa is the face of Christmas.